Hey, friends and family, so just arrived to Santiago from the valley. So we're gonna go try to get to our hotel. Pretty exhausted right now. We are ready to eat and sleep. Tired of having these bags on our back.
Hey, family, friends. So just hanging out here outside the balcony. Not trying to really make myself seen too much. As you can tell, you can hear in the background, there's lots and lots of vehicles. In that footage I showed you. We're able to make out some words of what they're chanting, and those banners that are being held up, and something about something towards the president, and about fuel prices. So just probably assuming that it's a protest against the rising gas prices. And the crazy thing is, it's not even just happening here in the United States, it's happening in Panama, it's happening in a lot of places in the world. Like, if you know what's going on in Sri Lanka, they don't have enough fuel that's like it's gonna last them for maybe possibly a year. So it looks like this is what's going on, is obviously protesting. Lots of large vehicles are, like, in the construction industry. Looks like there's truckers. Also, there's a group of people that's leading this convoy by foot. So as long as things don't get too dangerous, that's why I'm not trying to silhouette myself too much. Still using cover right now. Not cover, concealment, excuse me. But you don't know how dangerous this protest can get. There's not much of a police presence too, so that's what makes me very concerned. So we'll see. Maybe we might be able to get some more information. Hopefully we get out of here, Santiago, in a couple of days. All right.
Hay una gran movilización en Panamá, en Herrera, en Los Santos, en Penonomé, Agua Dulce, en David, en Tolé, en San Félix, en Colón, en Panamá Oeste. La pelea es
All right, so spending a couple of days here, probably like 4 or 5 days here in Santiago City. Now, the reason why is because leaving from Panama City and making our way to Bocas Del Toro, it's a very long trip through public transportation, and we're taking the bus. And it's really nice to just break up these trips, these long trips, because a lot of these roads are not as modern as other countries are. So there are a lot of swervy roads because there's a lot of jungles. So it's always best to just break up the trip. Now, earlier today you saw there was a demonstration. Now, our Spanish is not that very good, just a couple of words we were able to pick out, but if you're able to recognize this demonstration and you got some more input than we do, feel free to put it in the comments below and inform us. But Don't really know too much about what they were demonstrating. Just pick out some words. They're like talking about they're against police with tear gas. They're against high prices in food, high prices in gas. So you know, it's what's commonly happening around the whole world right now. So I very understand what's going on and their frustration. They're also talking about the government needs to improve more on education, which is also true. But you know, there's kind of something hearing that as a guest. You kind of want to just be careful, because sometimes these pop-up demonstrations can get out of hand and turn into a riot, which you don't want to be around. And that's not to say, even in the United States we have bad protests and riots, and they're horrible. That's something you want to stay away from. Things that get out of hand and put your life in danger. 2 weeks before we showed up to Panama, the country, there was a massive riot that was going on in the city of Colón, which is directly north from Panama City. And the police had to go in there after civil unrest, after 3 days of protesting and riots. So you always gotta be careful with being in these type of countries, because you never know. You always gotta be, you know, ready. Even like right now, traveling in an unknown city, crime rate is pretty high in different parts of Panama, and I look like an easy target, but I try to make myself not that much of an easy target. You know my background. But I'm getting into what we're talking about. This is Santiago, just kind of exploring a little bit of here, seeing what it's like before we start heading out to deciding where you want to go, either Boqueta or City David, before our next trip into Bocas Del Toro. Yeah, all right. Hopefully nothing bad happens. And there's a protest against the president, Panamanian president.
El presidente no está ni en el país. Está el vicepresidente.
Oh, okay. So,
Sí tenemos. Pero él ahorita mismo no está aquí en el país. Panamá. En la misma capital.
Oh, you can see me. How about now? All right. What's up, friends and family? So we're still in Santiago, okay? We're getting pretty close to thinking about leaving pretty soon. All right, I'm just a little drunk. I've already had 10 beers. It was $1 each, so why not? The reason why I'm making this quick film is because we've been sitting here in Santiago for quite a bit of time. We're trying to time out a little bit of some financial delays, and on top of that, also there's a protest going on. So that's the reason why we're still here. Quick thing that I want to add, that something I realized I don't usually do in my videos, is that I don't record enough of my conversations with local people. And that's usually the magic for some vloggers, right? Travel vloggers. I don't do that because the reason why I don't do it is that I'm very genuine. I think I want to take the camera out of the picture when I have a conversation with somebody I just barely met. I don't want to make them feel like, oh, they're like, okay, I'm on camera now. You understand my mindset on that. Now, the lady who owns this hostel, we're at the Hostel Traveler Santiago. Very nice, amazing woman, and she was telling us that the reason why she started a hostel here in Santiago, Panama, which is probably the only hostel, actually. The reason why she started is because her 3 children, I think, if I understand, I'm not very good in understanding Spanish too well, but from my understanding is that she said that her kid had a kids in France and also Tel Aviv, Jerusalem. And that started her whole international idea of like, okay, I'm from Panama, but there's a life outside of Panamanian borders, and her children explored that. And so then she wanted to have that very personal feeling with foreigners coming to her house and turn into a hostel. And she wanted to share that magic with a lot of people. So that's why she chose to have a hostel instead of getting into the hotel business. So to me, that's very deep. She's a very nice woman. Beers here are $1. All right. That's why I had a lot. I said that before. But I just wanted to share this with you guys because I don't record a lot of my conversations. It happens in the background, and a lot do happen. So, all right. I'm going to get back to everybody else because they're asking probably where I'm at. So, that's Vidania. Hey, friends and family. So, just getting a little update for this trip. So there's been a lot of protesting going on here in Panama. I think it's regards to something political. It's like the people are demanding the president to do these certain things that they're asking him to do, and if he doesn't, then resign. So it doesn't seem like it's very negative right now. There are a lot of protests going on, and a lot of us foreigners are getting stuck in hostels right now. So we're kind of determining if we're going to push on to the trip in Panama, trying to get to Bocas Del Toro, or if we just might as well find an alternative like Santa Catalina, or maybe just go ahead and leave the country and go to another country, because it's really unassuring to know what's going on. So we're just trying to figure that out. So hopefully I'll be able to update everyone else. We're staying here at this hostel. There's quite a bit of tourists here, and just having this time to like relax right now. Take this downtime to relax. All right. So wish us some luck. We'll see what's going to be the next decision. Alright, friends and family, so Panama is going to be cut short, unfortunately. So what we ran into is a little bit of strenuous issues here. Wasn't expecting any protests to occur while our visit here in Panama. Now, good for the workers and everyone that's standing up against the government and demanding the government to do what they want. I stay neutral because this is not my home country, but good for them for their standing up and doing what they have to do. As me, the best thing for me to do, for us actually, is to get the heck out of Dodge before things get a little hairy. That means it's when things get bad, right? So we were making our way from Santiago to go to Santiago. From Santiago, we're gonna go to David. From David, we're gonna make our way up to Bocas Del Toro. That's where our next highlighted destination. I was supposed to be filming. We're supposed to be relaxing. Got the Caribbean beach side. Just chilling like that. But that didn't really play out too well. Here we had to make a stop in Santiago for quite a bit, like 5 days, because there was a protesting that was happening everywhere. You saw in my videos. And so we weren't able to continue because the protesters closed off the highway. They legit closed off the highway, the only highway that runs through the whole country. And so there was a lot of us foreigners getting stuck in the hostel. So we had to make a decision to get back to Panama City. We were trying to see if we can still fly out to Bocas del Toro, but today they just told us that private domestic flights to Bocas is just or anywhere, it's just evacuations only due to the protests. And then tomorrow, the government's gonna be meeting with the local people leaders and seeing if they're gonna reach a verdict with their demands. And I doubt they're gonna do that, but it's my opinion. But if things don't turn out the way the people want it, who knows what's gonna happen after Monday. So we got a plan, an emergency plan. So just wait and see where our next destination is going to be, and this is probably the best thing for us to do. All right, friends and fam, so thank you for all the prayers, and sorry to cut Panama short. It was like interesting 4 weeks, but it's time to move on.
Standing on the edge of my time, everything I